Thomas Bradley had built his empire one careful decision at a time. At 42, he sat in a corner office overlooking Manhattan, surrounded by the quiet hum of success. His suits were tailored. His calendar was full. But his heart, if he was being honest with himself, felt a little empty. That Tuesday afternoon started like any other. He was reviewing quarterly reports when his assistant knocked softly. "Mr. Bradley, there's a child here to see you." Thomas looked up, confused. "A child?" "She says it's important. She's been very polite but quite insistent." Curiosity got the better of him. "Send her in." The door opened, and in walked a little girl who couldn't have been more than 7 years old. She had golden curls that caught the afternoon light, held back by a small blue butterfly clip. Her dress was simple, clean, but clearly worn many times before. In her small hands, she clutched a pink purse covered in daisies. What struck Thomas most were her eyes, serious, determined, far older than her years. "Hello, sir," she said, her voice small but steady. "My name is Emma Rose Carter. I came to talk to you about something very important." Thomas gestured to the chair across from his desk. "Please sit down, Emma Rose. Would you like some water? Maybe a cookie?" "No, thank you, sir. I don't want to waste your time." She climbed onto the large leather chair, her feet dangling well above the floor. She set her purse carefully on her lap. Thomas leaned back, studying this unexpected visitor. "Well then, what can I help you with?" Emma Rose took a deep breath. "I'd like to know, how much does a dad cost?" The question hung in the air between them. Thomas felt something tighten in his chest. "I'm sorry?" he said gently. "A dad," she repeated, meeting his eyes with heartbreaking directness. "I want to buy one. I've been saving up." She opened her purse and began placing items on his polished desk. A few crumpled dollar bills, a handful of quarters, some dimes and nickels, a button that caught the light, a smooth river stone. "I have $7.43, she said, counting carefully. "And this special button my mama gave me, it's very shiny. And this stone, I found it by the river and it's perfectly smooth. I thought maybe those could count as extra." Thomas felt his throat constrict. He cleared it softly. "Emma Rose, why do you want to buy a dad?" She looked down at her treasures spread across the desk. "My mama works so hard. She works at the diner in the morning, and then she cleans offices at night. She's always tired. And she's sad a lot, even though she tries to smile for me." The little girl's voice grew quieter. "At school, all the other kids talk about their dads. They talk about playing catch and being carried on shoulders, and someone who can reach the high shelves, someone who makes their mama smile." She looked back up at Thomas. "I thought if I could get a dad, Mama wouldn't have to be so sad and tired all the time. And maybe," her voice wavered just slightly, "maybe I could know what it feels like too." Thomas stood slowly and walked to the window. The city stretched out before him, countless lives intersecting, each carrying their own invisible burdens. He thought about his own father, gone now for 5 years. He thought about all the times he'd taken those strong, steady hands for granted. "Emma Rose," he said, turning back to face her. "I need to tell you something important. You can't buy a dad. That's not how it works." He saw her small shoulders slump, her eyes dropping to the pile of her savings. "But," he continued, moving to sit on the edge of his desk, closer to her level, "what you can have is something even better. You can have people in your life who care about you, who show up, who want to help." She looked at him, confusion and hope mixing in her expression. "Where does your mama work?" "The diner, you said?" "Rosie's Diner on 5th Street. She's there until 2 o'clock. Thomas checked his watch. "It's 1:30 now. What do you say we go surprise your mama? I think she'd want to know where you are." Emma Rose nodded, carefully gathering her money and treasures back into her purse. Rosie's Diner was the kind of place that had been serving the neighborhood for 40 years. Red vinyl booths, checkered floors, and the smell of coffee that never quite left the air. Behind the counter, wiping down the chrome, was a young woman with the same golden hair as Emma Rose. She looked up as the bell chimed, and her face went through a rapid transformation, confusion, recognition, and then alarm. "Emma Rose!" She rushed around the counter. "Baby, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be at Mrs. Patterson's house." "I'm sorry, Mama, I had something important to do." The woman noticed Thomas for the first time. and a flush of embarrassment colored her cheeks. "I'm so sorry, sir. I don't know what she—" "Mrs. Carter?" Thomas extended his hand. "I'm Thomas Bradley. Your daughter came to see me today. She's quite remarkable." "I'm Rachel," she said, shaking his hand hesitantly. "Rachel Carter. What did she— oh God, what did she do?" "Mama," Emma Rose said quietly, "I went to buy a dad." Rachel's face went pale. She knelt down, taking her daughter's hands. "Oh, sweetheart." Thomas spoke gently. "Perhaps we could sit down? I'd like to talk with you both, if that's all right." They slid into a corner booth. Rachel ordered Emma Rose a hot chocolate, her hands shaking slightly as she held her coffee cup. "I'm so embarrassed," Rachel began. "I work so hard to give her everything she needs, but—" "You have nothing to be embarrassed about," Thomas said firmly. "Your daughter's love for you brought her to my office today. That says everything about the mother you are." He turned to Emma Rose, who was carefully sipping her hot chocolate, whipped cream on her nose. "You know what I think? I think what you're really looking for is not something you can buy. It's connection. It's family. And family doesn't always look the way we expect it to." Rachel wiped at her eyes. "It's been just the two of us since Emma was born. Her father, he left before she was born. I've tried so hard to be enough for her." "You are enough," Thomas said. "But that doesn't mean you have to do everything alone." He was quiet for a moment, memories washing over him. "My father used to tell me that the measure of a person's wealth isn't in their bank account. It's in the connections they build, the hands they hold, the lives they touch." He looked at both of them. "I built a successful company. I have more money than I'll ever need. But you know what I don't have? I don't have what you two have. I don't have someone who'd walk into a stranger's office with $7.43, willing to give everything they have for love." Emma Rose looked at him seriously. "Are you lonely, Mr. Bradley?" The question, so direct and innocent, hit him in the heart. "Yes," he admitted. "I suppose I am." "Then maybe," Emma Rose said thoughtfully, "we could help each other." "Mama says the best things in life are when people help each other." Thomas smiled, the first genuine smile he'd felt in months. "I think your mama is a very wise woman." Over the next weeks and months, something unexpected happened. Thomas started stopping by the diner regularly. At first, it was just for coffee and conversation. Then he began joining Emma Rose and Rachel for weekend outings. The park, the museum, the zoo. He taught Emma Rose how to play chess. His father's old set brought down from storage. He helped Rachel with her small business plan. She'd always dreamed of opening her own catering company. He didn't try to be Emma Rose's father. He didn't try to replace anyone. He simply showed up. He was present. He listened. He cared. When Emma Rose had a school play, he was in the audience. When Rachel's car broke down, he was there with a mechanic. When they needed someone to talk to, he made time. And slowly, the empty places in his own heart began to fill. One evening, nearly a year later, Thomas sat in that same corner booth at Rosie's diner. Emma. Rose was showing him a drawing she'd made at school, a picture of 3 people holding hands. "That's you, me, and Mama," she explained. "Mrs. Henderson said we should draw our family." Rachel reached across the table and squeezed Thomas's hand. "Is that okay?" she asked softly. Thomas looked at the drawing, at the little girl with the blue butterfly in her hair, at the woman who'd taught him that wealth meant nothing without connection, and felt tears prick his eyes. "It's more than okay," he said. "It's everything." Emma Rose beamed. "See, Mr. Thomas, you can't buy a dad, but you can find a family. Mama always says the best things aren't bought, they're built, one kind moment at a time." Thomas pulled both of them into a hug. "Your mama is the wisest person I know." Outside, the city moved on. People rushed past with their own stories, their own struggles, their own invisible burdens. But inside that little diner, 3 people had found something priceless. They'd found each other. And sometimes, that's the greatest treasure of all.